Hello, everybody, and welcome. And thank you for coming to what I hope will be some wonderful information. I think it will. It always is from the Ascension Masters. But we're going to start off, as we always do, this time we can get quiet and just send out gratitude to the world. Let's take some slow, deep breaths to get into that peaceful, receptive state. So we breathe in slowly and deeply. We hold our breath. We breathe out, and then we hold our breath. Let's do that for a few more breaths. Now let's listen for our heartbeat. Our heartbeat, which is a pulse of light coming down through the silver cord from our mighty iron presence, anchoring in our heart, giving us life. Let's just see and feel and bless that heartbeat. That heartbeat that anchors into that beautiful threefold flame, which is the anchorage of our mighty I Am presence within our physical bodies. Let's just connect with that beautiful flame as we sit in that expanded golden flame in the center, golden yellow flame of wisdom and illumination, perception and discrimination. We see our bodies in this beautiful, dazzling golden flame. To the right, we can see the pink flame, that glorious, dazzling pink flame of pure divine love. And then we see to the left of us that beautiful, expanded flame, that sapphire blue, bringing into us the feeling of the will, the power, the faith, and the protection from our mighty I Am presence. See and feel and bless this glorious light. Let's take our awareness now up through the top of our head, through the silver cord, to our mighty, beloved I Am presence. Let's see this glorious, all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving presence smiling down on us. Our wonderful presence of God, I Am. And now we see in the center of our chest a beautiful golden sun forming, dazzling and brilliant like the noonday sun. The beautiful focus of light from our I Am presence. Open our hearts and send love and gratitude to our mighty I Am presence for beating our heart and giving us life. And now we see those rays from our beautiful sun in the center of our chest, dazzling and brilliant, billions and billions of rays, going forth and connecting up with each and every miniature sun in all the cells of our bodies, our four earthly bodies, all those little inner wakas receiving this expanded light. Let's feel the joy, the happiness, and the gratitude of each and every little inner waka of our four earthly bodies. Sense and see and feel that wonderful light saturating our earthly bodies. And now let's just fill our feelings with a feeling of love and gratitude. And let's call to the beloved Ascended Masters, the beloved Ascended Master David Lloyd, the great God of gratitude, to fill us, each one and all mankind, with this feeling that light substance from the Ascended Master realm of gratitude and love. We see our beautiful suns turning a deep shade of pink with a golden radiance. Gratitude and love for all our many, many blessings. Gratitude and love to the great ascended hosts for these marvelous teachings. Gratitude and love for all our loved ones and our friends. Gratitude and love for our homes and our supply. Gratitude and love for all the many, many blessings that we receive daily on our earthly journeys. Gratitude to the great and beloved elemental kingdom, animate and so-called inanimate, the beauty and bounty of nature. God bless, love and thank them, each and every precious one. Gratitude to the beloved angels, and gratitude to all life on our beloved earth. And now we see these rays in this wonderful expanded state, forming a lattice of light, dazzling and brilliant. We see our entire earth folded in this glorious pink and golden light, saturating every part of life on our beloved earth, especially those parts of life that are never loved or thanked, with this wonderful gift, our opportunity of sending love, light, and gratitude to all life. And we just give deep, deep thanks for this. Trish, beloved Trish, are you? Can you read the opening invocation for us?
Thank you, Anthea. I can. Good evening, everyone. Before reading the words of a master, we say together with our mics muted, as suggested by beloved Lord Katumi, Beloved presence of God, I am. It is thy life and intelligence that enables me to read and comprehend and absorb that which is required of me. For life, I am so grateful. Beloved Master Katumi, I ask for your feeling and your capacity to use this instruction for God's glory and mankind's comfort. We thank you. And now, great I am presence, take me within thyself. There instruct me and cause me to retain the full memory of these inner instructions. Thank you. From beloved Saint Germain.
Lovely. Thank you so much, beloved Trish. Okay, so Gary read for us beautiful reading and just such important words from Saint Germain as always. So that way, and then I thought we listened to the Transfiguration. We did listen to it, but I think it was a couple of years ago now. And I actually looked up Transfiguration. Jesus obviously gives a good description of it, and that is on the website under Ascension topics. You just scroll down and you'll see Transfiguration, Resurrection, and Ascension. There's quite a lot of wonderful information there. But in the dictionary, it says a complete change of form or appearance into a more beautiful or spiritual state. In this light, the misused life undergoes a transfiguration. It shines. So I thought that was quite interesting. It was the from the dictionary I've got on my computer here. And then we're going to have Terry reading, which is lovely, from the dictation. She did this a while ago. We've got that entire book read, which is marvelous, from beloved Pallas Athena. We also listened to this, but it was a couple of years ago now. And just listening to it again, oh, it was just so good to listen to it again. And then I'm going to read from beloved Lord Seythru, who we know is the great divine director. And then beloved John will take us through our decrees, which we know is such an important part of it all, calling for the light. So we're going to listen to Saint Germain's words. Thank you, Gary.
Week 272, Beloved Saint Germain, I Am Discourses, Volume 3, Discourse 18. I would be so pleased to have every one of the students, just at this time especially, use the statement with all the enthusiasm they can command. I am, I know I am the use of God's limitless opulence. Here I wish to explain that when there is a group of students in accord, working from the same principle, and they use this statement, they not only bring into their own world and use this great opulence, but they bless their associate students with the same thing, because I am the presence in each one. This is the mighty power of cooperative action which everyone should use. The students who maintain a loving blessing to each other are really held in the embrace of the great I Am presence. And when they acknowledge its action, they are commanding the same blessing and actions for the other students that they are for themselves. This is the correct attitude to be sustained, and if maintained sincerely in the heart of each one, no one within this embrace will want for any good thing. But the student who allows any feeling to remain with unkindness to the others will shut himself away from this great radiance and blessing. Now let us enter into the keynote of what you touched this morning, the simple understanding of God's will and free will. God's will is the opulence of goodwill, the birthright of every one of God's children. When you are reaching to the light in the use of the mighty I Am presence with sincerity, it is not possible for you to do otherwise than call for God's will to be done. As children of God the Father, who has given his children free will that they may choose, they must understand that it is for them alone to decree what shall act in their lives and world. Having free will, the student must understand that God can only act in his life and world according to his conscious direction. God is the principle of all life, and each child of God is an individualized, conscious, active part of that one great principle of life and love and power. God has given into the keeping of every one of his children this marvelous consciousness, which is omnipresent, eternally elastic, as it were, which can be drawn into a focal point to write with the pen of light or expand to encompass the earth. Consciousness is always subject to direction through the use of the free will. The most unfortunate understanding established by the orthodox idea that God acts of his own free will in the life of an individual or a nation is positively not true. God can only act through the mind of his own individualization, which is clothed with the personalities that you see about you. These personalities are but vehicles of use and expression of this mighty individuality, which is God's will and your free will, and it only comes into use by your conscious direction. I say to you that every function of the body is sustained through conscious action, although you are not aware of it. But as you reach deeper and deeper into the consciousness of the mighty I Am presence, you will come to understand that it is impossible for any outer action to take place without self-conscious action. A simple proof of this is what any of you may test at any moment. I wish to do some physical act. Preceding that activity, there always comes the thought to do it. Otherwise, the hand or body would not move in action. That which people have chosen to call involuntary action is the thing that has mystified their understanding of their own being. The students should take this humble explanation and meditate upon it often, for it will clear your mind of any obstructions. You are self-conscious, free will acting beings.
There we have it. So we know. And so now we're going to listen to the Transfiguration. This is an address by beloved Jesus, from the book Electrons and the Elemental Kingdom, from the Bridge to Freedom material compiled by Werner Schroeder. The Transfiguration of the Physical Form, and addressed by Beloved Jesus. The causal body, represented by the circles of color around the upper figure in the chart, may be likened unto an enlarged electron. Many of those electrons swinging around a central core form one atom. Between each electron there is a great distance, relatively speaking. As the electrons swing within their atom, they are either expanding their light or they are closed in by the discord and substance of the astral and psychic realm, which is like forcing pie-shaped wedges between these points of light. Now, when your thoughts, your feelings, and your etheric memories dwell on imperfection, you slow the vibratory action of your electrons, and then the substance of the psychic and astral realm closes in around them, lowering the entire vibration of your four lower earthly bodies. In this way, you become an easy prey to depression, poverty, ill health, or any number of the various negative aspects which mankind at large mirror and outpicture today. Now, in order to quicken the vibratory action of your inner bodies, you must use that immortal threefold flame within your heart, and you must make a conscious effort to accelerate the rate of the electrons as they move around the center of the atom. This is done through your decree work, through your songs, visualizations, and applications, individually or in groups. It is done also by a constant vigilance over the type of feelings you allow to rest in your emotional world and the type of thoughts you dwell upon. This vigilance is necessary all through the day, not only during the hours while you are in class or your holy time, that which time you are directed primarily by someone in charge, whose endeavors keep your attention above the consciousness of the mass mind. The type of memories which you have and the type of physical environment which you surround yourself also affects these inner vehicles. As you keep a vigilant watch over the activities of these inner bodies, and you keep the vibratory action of each one of them above the vibrations of the psychic and astral realm, then there should be no difficulty in expanding the Christ flame from within your heart. If you allow these bodies to descend into the realms where discord and negative creations abide, through discordant thoughts and feelings, then you have age, dis-ease, limitations, and distresses of every kind and description. Your physical body is interpenetrated by your etheric body. These are enfolded by your mental body and your emotional body. All of these are made up of atoms. Those atoms are composed of a series of electrons in constant motion, spinning around its tiny centripetal heart. Now, the quality of the atoms of every one of your bodies is constantly subject to change, to purification and etherealization, or to becoming more gross and more heavy. That is why individuals are sometimes very beautiful when they are young, around 18 years of age. Their faces are clear and unlined, their bodies are alive and buoyant, but after they have passed through the discordant experiences of some 20 or 30 years, you find that the vital flesh atoms have been lowered in vibration. This makes the flesh form less beautiful than it was before the discord was registered upon it. Your emotional body is in a constant state of motion, as is even the seemingly inanimate lectern upon which I place my hand. Science has confirmed that there is no such thing as inert or inanimate matter. Your emotional body is made up of millions of tiny electrons in constant movement. These form the atoms. Now, if that motion of the electrons is in accord with the rhythm of your God flame and is in accord with the constructive radiation of some master, that is fine. Then your emotional body deflects all destructive feelings projected at you, as well as all the discordant energy which you contact. You are then the master control of all energy wherever you are. In other words, your feelings ride upon the surface of life just as a cork floats upon the water, and it requires no effort to sustain itself in that buoyant, happy state. However, if the vibrations of the emotional bodies are allowed to submerge that body beneath the buoyant, poised happiness of the master, which is uninterrupted harmony, then the form of atom changes, and you have a heavy and uncontrolled vehicle, which is part of the mass psychic and astral realm of mankind. In order to refine and purify such an emotional body, the student has to keep using the violet fire through it constantly. Beloved ones, you wear now consecrated garments of flesh made up of billions of electrons, each and every one, which has known at one time such perfection in the inner realms as the outer mind cannot conceive. These electrons are but awaiting opportunity to be invoked, to give forth more of their light, speeding up the rapidity of their revolutions as they make up each atom, and then, with the assistance of beloved Serapis Bey and the Great Ones, I rendered that service in the experience of the Transfiguration. So it will be and should be for you today and every day. When those atoms and electrons are so accelerated, they should remain in that state. The transfiguration of the physical form follows a scientific law. It merely requires the surrender of the destructive use of one's free will to the immortal threefold flame of God within the heart. At your conscious call, this flame, intelligent and all-powerful, will expand its light to the four lower bodies, and, as the impurities of discord, which have been imposed upon the electrons, are sublimated by the use of the violet fire, the pure white light of the electron is then allowed to blaze its light freely. Then, meeting the blazing light so released from every other electron, the inner and physical bodies just naturally radiate light. Whoops. Just so perfectly expressed by beloved Jesus. And now we've got Pallas Athena. Just wonderful words.
Truth is not always welcome. Beloved Pallas Athena's address, May 23rd, 1953. Beloved children of God walking the way of earth, I greet you and bow before the majestic power of the God beat in your hearts, and before the sacrifice entailed by which every one of you voluntarily chose incarnation upon this shadow planet, offering to guard and guide and protect the evolution endeavoring to rise to their God estate. Long has been your journey, faithful has been your service, and great shall be your reward. I now awaken within you the remembrance of the power that is within the sacred fire, power which you have consciously drawn through your own heartbeat and wielded, by which entire continents were kept free from disease and shadow and pain, and the disintegration that now accompanies the removal of the soul from the earth. More than one of you has held the balance for an entire continent through the use of the sacred fire. All of you have known the freedom and protection that is within the majestic presence. It is time now that you awaken from the consciousness of your separate selves and draw that sacred fire, concentrate its power, endow it with your love, and send it forth for the redemption of this earth. I come in answer to each of your heart calls for truth. Do you know the concentrated power within the calls required to part the curtain of the great silence wherein some of us have chosen to abide for centuries of time? I am here because of your light and your love and your fierce and loyal and dauntless determination to know truth. I am one of 12 beings privileged to be the spiritual court of the mother of the system, the beloved Vesta. My sisters have been more welcome upon the planet Earth than I, for there is not a heart that does not want mercy, nor a soul that does not want peace, nor a lifestream that does not want love. A limited few timidly call for justice, a limited few for purity, but oh, dear hearts, how many want truth when it is uncomfortable to the pressure of one's own concepts, feelings, and opinions, although truth complemented by the comforting presence of divine love is the power by which man shall become free. Oh, the brutal frankness of the outer self determined to ram truth down the throats of other life streams. Such a one has much to learn. But when there is the kindness of the Holy Comforter within the feeling body, truth may be presented in a way that conveys assurance, conviction, and comfort to the individual. That is why we, the Mahachohan and I, represent the two facets of the same great flame. In the early ages before the mist arose from the minds and hearts and feelings of the people, I abode within the heart of the temple of truth, where all who chose to do so might consult me. Although I wore no garment of flesh, it was easy to discern my presence because there were no shadows between the sense consciousness of the harmonious selves evolving upon the planet and the perfection of our octave. The governments flourished as well as education, art, science, and religion, because each life stream was held within the presence of truth and guided by his own divine presence in his individual affairs, and in national and international affairs by myself, and the evolution moved forward in very great harmony and happiness. With the closing of the great Lemurian age, this association with us and the beauty resulting therefrom began to dim. The creation of mankind's own choosing began to enfold the life streams, and in the mists of forgetfulness, truth became veiled. On Atlantis, some of you were sufficiently true to the principle of life as to maintain temples to the goddess of truth. There I was enabled to manifest to a chosen group of prepared, reverent, and dedicated life streams who, in turn, carried the word of truth to others whose own creations had blotted out, so to speak, the vision of our realm and its inhabitants. You have heard Serapis tell how the great hierarchy warned the priests that Atlantis was about to fold her veil around her and sink beneath the waves, and those blessed ones who had guarded the temple of truth made preparations, along with others, to carry the flame from that altar and the sacred documents which had been carefully transcribed and which contained within them the results of many of our conferences to a place of safety. Slowly passed the years, nothing happening in the outer, and the people began to murmur in themselves that the priests and priestesses had deceived them, telling them falsehoods, and so they slipped back into their old ways until finally came the night when all were notified to proceed to the boats and, in company with their own chosen priests or priestesses, endeavor to arrive at a place of safety before the cataclysmic action would churn the ocean into such a boiling sea that no boat could survive. Beloved Hilarion and a group of his chelas took the flame of truth across the ocean, through the Mediterranean into Greece. They were among the few who arrived in time and knelt, even while Serapis and his group were kneeling in Egypt around the Ascension flame. I stood in the atmosphere as the flame of truth burned in the brazier which they had carried from the Atlantean temple, and the faithful ones bowed to the ground in gratitude to life for survival and the honor of preserving the flame of truth. The secret documents were then placed in secret archives, where they will remain until man is poised enough in his own God presence, when they can be brought forth again for the illumination of the race. Some of these records unfortunately burned at Alexandria, but many made their way into the Far East and into Tibet and China, where they still remain. Ever grew that veil of human creation, even while the smoldering embers of truth were guarded by a faithful few who incarnated again and again and again. At Delphi, when the priestesses were able to contact the spirit of truth, some of that flame enabled those early Greeks to proceed on the path of righteousness. But the more the creation of the human enfolded the life stream, the less the individual cared to know the truth.
Yeah, so there we have it. It's interesting, isn't it? Knowing the truth. And now this is from beloved Saint Germain on the use of the word om. So I thought this would be good to share. Actually, Fatima asked about it, and I looked it up. It's in volume 3 of the I Am Discourses. And this is what Saint Germain says. The Oriental phrase for I am is om. That means the same thing that I am is beginning to mean to the Western world. For myself, I like very much the use of the I am because its very expression indicates God in action in the individual. As understood by the Orientals, is a universal presence and not nearly so apt to give the student the consciousness of the I am presence, acting in the individual as the use of I am. This largely explains the reason for the condition in India today. Hundreds of thousands in India, through the confusion of many castes, have fallen into the error that the intonation of Om was all that was required in their lives. While this brings a certain activity in hundreds or thousands of cases, it does not bring the energy of that activity into the individual's action, and so is of little benefit. Om Mani Padme Om really means God in action in the individual. Use the I am instead of Om at all times, because many of you have been embodied in an Indian embodiment. At one time, you knew that use, and to prevent it calling forth a lesser use I am now to take you to the full height. And then I also read, and I think it was in one of Alice's books, that Om is actually derived from am. So that's from Omega. And so it misses out the I. That's why that's why Saint Germain's saying, for the full use, we need to say I am. So that's quite interesting, I thought. All right, so now we're going to have this time where we call help for all the brothers and sisters caught in the psychic and astral realms and to assist our beloved Saint Germain in those violet flame temples. So we say together, beloved presence of God, I am in me, and beloved immortal, threefold flame of eternal truth within my heart, and beloved Saint Germain, while my body sleeps this night, let all the constructive energy of my entire life stream be used to render whatever service is needed in the violet flame temples established in the psychic and astral realms, to draw the full gathered cosmic momentum of the violet purifying flame of divine love and compassion through every discarnate life stream there. Let all the souls who dwell in those realms be taken immediately into those purifying temples of mercy and compassion, and there have the accumulated, destructively qualified energies of their life streams purified and transmuted, so they carry in their life streams no miscreations that would add to their own or the world's distress. We decree it, and so be it, beloved I am, and we accept this done here and now with full cosmic power. And we thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay, this is lovely. It's all the friendships between different species, also from a kinder world. it's just so sweet. I loved all those animals loving each other. And now we say together, for our animal, insect, and reptile kingdoms, beloved I presence and that of all mankind, charge your mighty light of mercy and compassion to flow through us all and bring comfort and freedom to the animal, insect, and reptile kingdoms. May each human being remember and accept their responsibility as guardians and protectors of this planet's pure and innocent life until all is set free and their divine plans fulfilled. We so decree it and so be it. In God's most holy name, I am. We accept it done and we thank you. Thank you. And now I'm going to read from Beloved Lord Sethru, our great divine director. And as we know, he's Manu of the seventh root race. So he says, beloved people of earth, I greet you on behalf of my root race and its sub-races. Little you know of me or my service or of my people. Therefore, I invite you into my presence this morning. A Manu is a being who primarily has taken the opportunity of molding a great number of spirit sparks into a specific God design to render a tremendous service when the time is required upon the planet, where the Manu is to either embody or to send forth his emissaries. I represent their godfather, you might say. In my case, I shall not embody because the earth, through the assistance of the children of the Ascended Master Saint Germain and the tremendous cause for the violet flame, is being purified enough, particularly of the disembodied spirits, and the removal at the close of the earth span of souls who would otherwise have to re-embody, and by the removal of the etheric records in the living and the so-called dead. When it is the hour of accomplishment, when the gates of heaven do open, there shall come forth the first sub-race, representing the activity of the violet ray of ceremonial, all equipped with magnificent voices, all able to both precipitate and levitate at the time of birth, with the knowledge of their heavenly realm, with no veil between. This great race is due to come forth for the most part in the South American continent, although we have experimented and successfully with the inculcation of several members of the first sub-race belonging to my dominion in the North American continent. We have chosen South America because across Brazil and through that country, which is now jungle, the earth has had some time to rest. Ask for the Ascended Master Saint Germain to purify that stretch across the equator and give us a beautiful verdant earth, which Lady Amaryllis herself will adorn with beauty and clear up the human effluvia. With the very earth itself down to about 15 feet below its surface, all through and across from Peru to where the Amazon flows out to Rio de Janeiro, is an activity of the violet fire established. This results, as you will see in your papers, in a great number of poisonous reptiles and various effluvia being swept forth in the Amazon and then out to the ocean. And the Amazon will no longer be a flood of mud tide, but the beautiful sapphire blue, which is the color of the waters of our kingdom. As Manu, there is one root race that has seven branches, and that has 7 branches. It is like one tree with 7 great branches, only they do not all flower at once. They flower each one, starting from the left on to the right, until the 7 sub-races have found expression and completion. Then the Manu and all the sub-races join together and ascend, even as they have descended before. This may clarify for you something which perhaps was confusing within the mind consciousness. As for myself, I shall materialize at the proper time. I shall not take an infant form, but I shall materialize when the beloved Ascended Master Saint Germain's kingdom is established on the earth fully, where mankind, elementals, and angels are all joined together in harmony. Then I can bring in the great numbers of those mighty beings whom I have fathered, whom I have loved, and they in turn will enhance the perfection of that golden age. So there we have it. And I can just imagine they must be so advanced, these souls, because they've been waiting for millions of years to come in. So it's just such a wonderful thought, coming in, levitating and precipitating, as we should all be doing. And now I just thought for our song, Our Beloved America. It's just such a wonderful thing. God bless America, truly. Lovely. And we know the anagram for America is I am race. So there's always the hints we get. So it's just lovely. Thank you, beloved John. You'll take over now. Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved Anthea. Good evening, all. And beloved Anthea, again, thank you for these inspiring messages, these teachings, amazing teachings, these wonderful videos that you bring us each week. Highly inspired. Beloved mighty presence, we call to you to take command of us all and produce your mighty perfection throughout our decrees. Beloved ascended masters, we give you full permission on behalf of ourselves and of all mankind to do whatever is necessary to fulfill the divine plan in this lower realm. And we call for you to charge your mighty power and give whatever energy may be lacking from our side into all our decrees, so they can manifest here and now, all according to thy will. We call to you, beloved Archangel Michael, to send cosmic rays and mighty angels of protection, to protect all who have joined this Zoom class and for all the energy released to be purified and used only to serve the pure divine cosmic light. Beloved mighty and presence, eternal source of the Christ within, we call upon Ascended Master Jesus, the Mahachohan, and the Cosmic Christ to pour forth the light of Christ consciousness upon us all. And so be it. Beloved I am, we thank you. We say together, Mighty I am presence, great host of ascended masters, archangels and Elohim, cosmic beings and great cosmic light, come forth now in all your cosmic power. Withdraw and withhold all power from destructive forces and individuals with destructive intent throughout the world right now and forever, whether it is conscious or unconscious. Expose, seize, bind, and render helpless all these sinister forces and their activities until the light has removed them completely, and illumine the source so this may never act again, and raise up to positions of power the divinely chosen leaders. Replace all with ascended master consciousness and the divine plan fulfilled. We thank you. Our tube of light protection. Beloved mighty I am presence, beloved Archangel Michael, and beloved Commander Conrad, continually intensify your protective pillar of pure light substance and Archangel Michael's armor of light through and around me, charged with your invincible protection, all-powerful and impenetrable. I am invisible. I am invincible. I am invulnerable to anything but thy almighty perfection. And I am grateful we are given whatever added protection is needed. What we ask for ourselves, we ask for our loved ones, and that which is constructive in all mankind and the world. Thank you. We just visualize our tube of light from our I am presence, coming down from above, anchoring 3 feet beneath us, blazing up through and around us, 9 feet in diameter, 3 feet each side of us, with that thick wall at the edge, stronger than any steel. Feel and see that brilliant blue and crystal light. That light that instantly defects anything that is not of the light. Build your wall of light. See Archangel Michael's armor of light around us, forming that impenetrable pillar of protection around ourselves, this group, our families, friends, and around every constructive person across the face of the earth. Every beloved one standing up for truth, justice, and freedom. May God bless, direct, perfect, and protect each and every one. Thank you. I am the law of forgiveness for myself and all mankind, for all mistakes, misqualified energy, human consciousness, and for straying from the light. Beloved mighty, I am present through your blessed love, power, and authority. We call to beloved Lady Master Kuan Yin. We ask that you fill us with your ascended master feelings of mercy and forgiveness for ourselves and for all mankind. We feel deeply in our hearts that sincere desire to be forgiven and to forgive any and all misuse of life. Human consciousness, misqualified energies of any kind, any wrong desires and feelings in our beings and world, and every mistake for which our outer selves are responsible. And we just feel that great gratitude for this blessing to all of mankind, this wondrous great gift of the law of forgiveness. Beloved mighty I am presence and that of all mankind, forgive, forgive, forgive each and every one of us. Thank you. And we call to the great central sun to charge your secret power into these decrees. And we call for beloved Saint Germain to anchor a cosmic concentration of violet fire in America, Europe, Africa, China, India, the Far East, the Middle East, Russia, wherever else it is needed in our beloved world, here and now, we thank you. We say our violet fire decree together. Mighty Empresence, beloved Saint Germain, and those ministered to the violet flame, come forth now and blaze your cosmic violet fire, and cause a mighty victory for all the world to see. I am the law of forgiveness in cosmic action now. I am the victory of the sacred fire in all its cosmic power. Mighty angels, descend with your purple wands of fire and strike them into the center of every place where there has been a history of sinister force activity. Transmute and consume it all, cause, core, record, effect, and memory, and set it all free from that which was never meant to be. Replace it all with ascended master consciousness, the divine plan fulfilled, and light from the secret love star. We thank you. our decree for the elementals. I am the light of God that never fails, purifying, loving, thanking, and blessing the great directors of the elemental kingdom and every beloved earth, water, air, and fire elemental for your ceaseless service to me and to all mankind. I am the mighty cosmic light awakening all mankind to the great intelligence of this kingdom, and remove from elemental life today the necessity for longer obeying the destructive impulses of mankind. And so be it. Beloved I am, we thank you. In the name of my mighty I am presence, great cosmic beings and great cosmic light, I decree, I am the presence charging the minds and feelings of everybody in America and the world with Saint Germain's ascended master consciousness and perfection, right now and forever. I am the presence, blessing, illumining, perfecting, and setting all free in service to the light. Our decree for the purification of our beloved earth. In the name of my mighty I am presence, and by the power of the great host of ascended beings, we demand a cosmic living sword of blazing flame continually strike into all human miscreations back to the very beginning, causing all negative energies and entities in the psychic and astral realms and in the consciousness of all mankind to cease to exist forever. The cause, core, effect, record, and memory, freeing all human and elemental life from that which was never meant to be, and ensuring the psychic and astral realm is no more. Replace it all with the immaculate concept for all life, ascended master consciousness, and light substance from the secret love star. Let thy will be done, and so be it, and so it is. Beloved I am, we thank you. Our decree for divine justice. I am the most intensified cosmic action of the flame of divine justice, blazing throughout the world, right now and forever. I am the law. I am the justice. I am the judge. I am the jury. Knowing that I am all-powerful, then I know that only divine justice can be done everywhere, here and now. Beloved Lady Portia, ensure divine justice prevails throughout the world right now and forever. And so be it, and so it is, and it is done. Beloved I am, we thank you. Now, before we say our final decree, by the love and power of our beloved mighty I am presence, we call to you, beloved mighty victory. We ask you that you fill us with your full feeling of victorious accomplishment, that cosmic feeling of ascended master victory. We say together, I am the victory of the cosmic light. I am the victory of the cosmic light. I am the victory of the cosmic light. I am the cosmic flame of victory, which reigns supreme everywhere, right now and forever. We accept these calls answered as they are made, according to thy will, with full cosmic power, maintained and trebled each instant of each hour by the power of the 3 times 3, until fully manifest. And so be it, and so it is, and it is done. Beloved I am, we thank you. And as we end now, let us focus on that beloved love star radiating within our auras, placed there by beloved Sanat Kumara as a gift to all mankind, assisting us in holding that frequency of unconditional divine love, a true cosmic blessing. We love and thank you, beloved mighty love star, and ask that you expand your mighty supreme light through our 4 lower bodies, and to saturate all whom we pass by on our earthly journeys with that unconditional love. And to that mighty secret love star shining from the heavens for this 2,000-year period, we bless and thank you and all the mighty cosmic beings from the great central sun, holding this focus. Expand your supreme light through our individual love stars and around all life evolving on our sweet earth. We thank you. Thank you, everybody, and blessings to all.
Thank you, beloved John. Marvelous. I'd just like to see who might like to say the, never quite sure who's got a screen and what have you. So who would like to do it today? Morel, beloved, are you available to read the closing invocation?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Anthea. Before ending the session, we all say, with mics muted, Beloved, I am presence, and beloved Master Kuthumi, nourish the seeds planted in my consciousness so that the ideas entrusted to me become manifest flowers of perfect expression in my world and the world of all my fellow men. Beloved of presence of God, I am. Pour the light of thy great glory upon my consciousness and nourish the seeds planted by the masters. We thank you.
Thank you, beloved Morel. Bless you. And just a moment of gratitude, truly, for these marvelous teachings, the great ascended ones that have brought them forth for us, and for our opportunity to serve through calling for the light and for our blessed and beloved earth. So thank you, everybody. I'm just going to stop the recording now.